Hi all, I'm back. I was just asking Kriti's team where she was. So we're talking about Kriti Kharbanda. She's going to be joining us in just a second now. We saw in the hit Housefull, and then she also was in Pagalpanti. So Kriti is going to be joining us in just a second, and we are all set to rock and roll. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How does it go? How is self-isolation treating you?
Absolutely amazing. I've been making the most of it. I'm trying my best to just take care of myself, things that I haven't done in the last couple of years. I've just been indulging myself in painting and trying to learn to play the piano. So there are lots of things that are happening. I wish it didn't have to happen this way, but you have to make the most of the situation, I guess.
And piano, yes, you said Pulkit plays the guitar piano, so there's a jam session happening.
The aim is to have a jam session. So I'm trying to learn the piano. So is he in his own way. He already plays it a little bit, but I think he wants to get good at it now. So that's a good thing. I think we're both indulging in things that we didn't really have time for before. And to be able to do it together, I think is just the cherry on top.
And you lead such busy lives. 2019 was jam-packed for you. We're literally living out of a suitcase. Now suddenly the social distancing and self-isolation, how are you dealing with it?
Honestly, I love being home. I have never had an issue being in my house. I actually enjoy being at home. I was the kind of student who would bunk college to go back home and not to go out with her friends. I was always that person. Being in the film industry, it's made me a little bit more extrovert than I used to be, but otherwise primarily I'm quite the introvert, and a lot of people don't believe that about me, but I am more than okay with being isolated for so long. I've been in isolation for over 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks now, because I was traveling and then I just didn't want to take any chances, so I made sure that I was in isolation for a good 12 days before Modi ji actually announced the curfew.
Okay.
So I was already in quarantine at that point.
So from houseful to house arrest?
From houseful to house arrest, absolutely. But I'm just glad that, I chose to be smart about it, and maybe if I hadn't taken care of myself in that time, I would have fallen sick because I am extremely prone to colds and coughs. So I was really paranoid. But I'm just glad that we took this time, and I'm so glad that the country made this decision that they are going to isolate themselves, not just to prevent themselves from getting sick, but I think also because it's the need of the hour and people are trying to be smart about it. Most of us are trying to be smart about it.
And the thing is, the industry, they say, the show must go on. Anything has ever happened. The film industry is never shut down. You've always had films. I think this is the first time ever that everything has come to a standstill the world over. Yeah. So for an actor, what is this isolation like? Because you're always surrounded by people all the time.
Yeah. We're used to that hustle bustle around us because, when you're shooting with a good 150 member crew. So you're constantly surrounded by people. Your room is a van, which is probably not even as big as your own bedroom. And even there you have your staff, you have your people, you have your friends come over. And it's just that you're so used to being, and Bombay, is that kind of a place where everyone is literally into everyone's face in a good way. Yeah. But we have that kind of population, and we have that kind of thing in the industry where everybody talks to everybody. So no one ever feels lonely. But suddenly to not have all that around you, it's actually very disorienting. I have really started to miss work. I have started reading my scripts again, the ones that I was already reading. I've reread all my scripts. I've done all of that just to feel like, just to get in there. I'm watching films that, I haven't watched before, and Pulkit's introduced me to this whole new world of cinema, which is very different for me, like cinema that he's grown up watching. We've watched very different cinema as we grew up. So yeah, but it's nice that everyone is keeping each other company through social media.
True.
I really don't know how else it would have worked in today's day and age.
Very true. And now your fans are saying, why aren't you interacting with us? Lots of hearts.
Oh, I'm sorry,
smileys
lots
coming
of
up.
hearts.
And somebody's asked, what are
Sorry.
your upcoming projects? I know there is Tesh coming up. So please tell us a bit about it.
Tesh is a Bijoy Nambia directorial. He was definitely one of the directors, is one of the directors who is on my list, and someone I was looking forward to working with. In fact, Tesh, a lot of people don't know this, but I was offered another part in Tesh, and I didn't have dates at that point, and I was really, really bummed. And the film got pushed a little bit, so Bijoy came back to me with an even better character because he had time to rewrite because the film had been pushed because all actors' dates were not matching. So he said, I have a fantastic role for you. Do you have time now? And it so happened that the Pagalpanti schedule got pushed by a month and a half because John had injured himself. So I had that 1 month. After having worked for a year and a half without a break, I was supposed to take that month to rejuvenate. And instead, I was like, okay, you know what? This has come to me and I want to do a film with Bijoy and it's a fantastic part. So might as well do it. And it just happened literally overnight. And within 2 weeks, I was shooting with Bijoy.
Awesome. And you've got
it's a really, really entertaining movie.
And
yes, I'm opposite Jim.
Yeah. And he'll be in a different avatar, not like the bad guy that he's always seen as.
You know, it's so weird. He is definitely. I didn't think that someone like Jim would be playing this character because you know Jim. I had thought of him as the bad guy because we've seen him in that avatar. Having said that, the justice he's done to this is unreal. He's such a lovely person. He's such a lovely actor. It's fun to work around him. I think I would love to say that, you know, Jim has performed really, really well in Tesh. And it's been a pleasure working with him.
And sharing screen space with Pulkit, what is it like? Is it easier in real or is it, you know, they say real and real. Sometimes couples' real life chemistry does not translate very well on real. So what is it like for the two of you?
Very honestly, I don't know about his approach to the whole thing because this is something we don't discuss. Yeah. We don't discuss our personal lives when we are at work. We don't discuss our professional lives when we are at home. It's as simple as that. We need to keep our worlds really, really separate for us to survive together and for us to be happy in our own space. Yes. You know, life becomes too interdependent otherwise. So the point was to basically not jeopardize our professional lives and not jeopardize our personal lives. Having said that, I love working with him as much as I love working with every other actor when the set is a fun set. You know, it's not because he is there that I will enjoy an experience. An experience is an overall thing. You take a lot of things into perspective before you decide your experience on a movie. One person can't make or break that. I enjoy working with him and I think he's a fantastic actor. He's a great co-star and he's one of the most caring people you'll ever find on a set. So yeah, he is definitely someone I look forward to working with. But it's not like, you know, he makes or breaks it for me. It's as simple as that.
And somebody just asked about Googly too.
Oh, I really, really wish that happens. Pawan and I were chatting. So Googly was my first big hit in my career. Back in, I don't remember the year honestly, but this was back when I was doing my Kannada films. And it was my biggest hit and gathered me my biggest fan following I think there could possibly be. Most of my fan clubs, even on Instagram, most of them are run by my folks back in Karnataka. So many of these guys, so many fan clubs there. It gave me the stardom that I think I was hoping to get. You know, that stardom that you wish you get when you enter an industry. That's exactly what Googly gave me. And unreal. I mean, for me, two films that are supremely close to my heart are Googly and Shaadi Mein Zaroor Aana. So for me, Googly was an experience that I don't think I'll ever forget in my life. And if I ever get the opportunity to do Googly 2, which I know that the director will make only with me. So I hope that happens. And I can't wait to explore that part of my life again.
So since you have done both the cinemas, North and South, which one do you think is easier and more professional and more disciplined?
in all honesty, I have not had bad experiences down south. Neither have I had them here. Very, very frankly. A bad experience, it takes a lot to label something as a bad experience because every set will have its ups and downs. It does not matter how big or small a film is.
Yeah.
So, I've been lucky that in my career, I've had a good set of producers. I've worked with reputed directors and I have a decent kitty of films in my bag and I'm a respectable actor. So for me, that is something I got very lucky with down south and here.
Yeah.
And in fact, down south, I have repeatedly worked with same people because they've enjoyed working with me also.
Yeah.
So I have been very fortunate and I genuinely see no difficulty except the fact that if you don't understand a character, it could be any language. It's not about the language. If you don't understand a character, you can't translate that on screen. And that's not going to make it a good experience for you. So the language is actually no barrier.
Which is true. And you mentioned
have unprofessional people everywhere.
I agree. And you mentioned googly. Everybody here, googly hearts are happening. I love you, Kriti is happening. My Lord, fan following.
I'm telling you, I mean, I have immense respect for my fan clubs. Very frankly, people actually call me up and say, you have such ardent fans. How did that happen? But I know that happened because of my base in the southern film industry. I know that's where I started. Those were the days when people have accepted me without, with or without baggage. And that brought me to Bollywood. So for me, that is something I really cherish. And my fans from there who've been my fans for 10 years now. It's not something that's just happened in the recent past. So yeah, I started very young. I was 18 when my first film came out.
And a decade. Wow, awesome. Way to go, yeah.
Thank you.
One thing, now since we're talking about social distancing in this quarantine, you said something that actually resonated with me. It was about those people who have been abandoning their pets. And you said, I would judge them for what they are. So, I mean, you all have raised your voice. What is that one thing you take back from this quarantine and what is that one message you want to give out as we are still dealing with it?
One thing that I'm definitely going to take back is, I look outside and the air is so much clearer. I know that I'm feeling healthier. I know that my skin is better. I know that the environment around me is clean. One thing I'm definitely going to take back is the positive side of what happened to us.
Yeah.
There is a positive to it. If you really want to look, this is probably, I wouldn't call it the silver lining. It would be incorrect because there is suffering at the end of the day. But having said that, look what we did to our country and look what it is capable of being.
Yeah, true.
They are showing us a different world in their own way. And when I say they, I mean nature. So this is something I definitely want to take back with me. And I want to believe that this is possible because now I'm seeing it happen. So this is possible. And if this is possible now, we should be able to make this happen even in the future when things are all right. But imagine living in a world that is so clear.
True, even the animals are at peace.
So
birds are singing, skies are blue.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I have never seen such gorgeous sunsets. I can see the sea from here. I can hear birds chirping literally like at 5 a.m. and it's so beautiful and they're swirling around in the evening. It's a beautiful sight. I know I sound like someone who is so obsessed now, but this has been my life for a month. I'm nature watching. I am bird watching. I'm spending time in the house. So this is all I'm talking about. And my conversations have become so much more positive.
Yeah. I think that goes for everybody. And have you seen we're more empathetic towards each other? We are getting along. I hope we carry it forth after all this.
I think it was beautiful. A lot of people question, what is lighting diyas gonna serve us? A lot of people question that. My point is, what? It is probably not gonna serve the virus.
Yeah.
The point is this brings us together. Don't you get goosebumps when you stand out in your balcony and you see, wherever your eye can meet nature, you see people lighting diyas and candles and standing in unity. And that feeling is something else, like the belonging. You're isolated, but imagine you're still a part of something so big. It's a big movement. It's something the entire country is doing together. Just knowing that. And for me, my folks are away. They're in Bangalore. For me,
Okay.
just knowing that they are there doing the same thing that I am, and for once I don't have to call and say, "Mama, kya kar rahe the?"
Right.
It's a beautiful feeling. So I was really excited last night. I was very sure that I wanted to do this. It felt amazing. Everybody was lighting diyas. There were a few stupid people who went out there and burnt crackers, burnt
I know.
themselves.
Great.
There was a building in Bandra, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure.
That caught fire. Mahim or Bandra?
Yeah, that caught fire. I mean, it's, you know, if you really have to be told that you're just supposed to light diyas, and it is a hazard if you burn crackers. I don't know what they were trying to do. It's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. But this is very basic what we're doing. But I hope people wake up and understand why this is so necessary, and try and look at the positives, that they're able to spend more time with their families. They're able to indulge in things they haven't been able to indulge in the past. Because spending time at home when you're a working person is literally taboo, because you feel like, you know, I could have been at work and I could have been doing this. We forget what priorities are. And suddenly I think when people are enjoying this now, they will make time for themselves even when things get better. I hope they get back to the idea of living by themselves a little bit, dedicating time to themselves and their families.
Which is true. What is that one thing you're going to do once the lockdown is over and we are all free once again?
What I want to do, honestly, I miss the hustle around me, even in terms of, you know, I live near the highway, so it's constantly jammed with cars. So for me, suddenly it's very, very quiet. So I think first thing I'm going to intently listen to is the sound of the train that goes past. But apart from that, I want to go out and buy my own groceries. Like, I don't want to go down in the building and buy whatever is only available. So I want to do all of that. But first thing I definitely want to do is go see my parents in Bangalore. I'm hoping that happens soon. I haven't seen my family in the last 3-4 months, and now so this is the longest I've stayed away from them, and it's kind of scary. But I know they're healthy and they're wise, so it's okay.
We are all connected. I mean, thank God for technology for once.
Thank God for technology. Absolutely. Really grateful for everything in my life right now, genuinely.
So
this is actually quite, we have the leisure of living in our own homes. It's as simple as that.
I know. Little things that one needs to be grateful. They're actually big things. Many don't even have that.
Yeah.
So what is the one skill you have picked up? I mean, other than the piano.
Other than the piano, I think I had lost my touch of cooking. This is something I really, really used to enjoy. But I used to always cook only fancy food. Because, I mean, you know, Mama would always be like, "Khana main bana rahi hu." When there's something fancy, you try a new dish. That always used to happen. So I used to cook a lot of fancy food. It's the first time in my life I'm eating pure vegetarian, very home, basic food, stuff that I've never done before. So for me, honestly, I feel very proud that I'm able to make a turai ki sabzi with normal pulkas. And not just a pasta, leo, or a pesto sauce, something, nothing fancy. But I like that I'm able to pick up skills like basic cooking. And I think I have so much respect for my mom. She used to tell me she had 2 kids, no help at home. She would clean the house, cook, do everything by herself. And I hats off to all the mamas, and especially like everyone who's done it without cribbing.
True.
It's unreal. And even if they've cribbed, there's no judgment, because honestly they were doing a lot, and it's now that I realize. So I don't know if I've picked up a talent, but I've definitely picked up perspective, this isolation, that I'm starting to see things from different perspectives.
Which is true. And what would you recommend? So what are you watching? The kind of cinema, so that we all, because since it's only Netflix, Amazon that we are connected to.
Yeah. I watched Hatim Tai a couple of days ago.
Wow.
And I hadn't watched Hatim Tai, and Pulkit said, you know, that was, he's like, bachpan mein dekhi nahi thi. And I was in Bangalore when I was young. So, you know, very little access to Hindi TV and all. So I said, no, I haven't watched it. So he's like, no, you have to see it. You can't not watch Hatim Tai. So he showed me that. He showed me The Lion King. Because I'd watched it when I was extremely young, but I had no memory of it at all. I knew the story, but I had no memory. So he showed me the old Lion King. There's so many lovely cartoons that have come back. So I've been watching Papoy. I'm not kidding. I sing the song with Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm telling you, I've gone back in time and I'm loving it. I've never felt younger and happier. It's weird, but I've never felt this way before.
I can see it on your face.
Yeah, I took an afternoon nap. I had the leisure to take an afternoon nap. So when I woke up, I'm like, oh my God. But I'm telling you, I don't remember the last time I did that for myself. So yeah, I'm trying to find the positive and keep myself happy all day because I have my mood swings. I do. There are certain evenings that you miss your family a little too much. You're FaceTime and you break down because you don't know when you're going to see them.
True.
But I try and stay positive because I think mental health at this point is so important. People are not prioritizing their mental health. And it's just so important to not be hooked onto your phone at all times. So I make sure that I'm doing other activities outside my phone because we're already pretty driven by technology. Like you said, it's very hard to survive in this day and age without technology.
So true.
So you need to be able to disconnect from it.
So agree.
Completely disconnect. So that's when the piano comes into play. I love playing board games, which is something I haven't done in so long. So we've been playing a lot of board games.
Which is your favorite?
Cooking. My favorite is Monopoly Deal. I love playing Monopoly Deal because Monopoly is something I've not played really, but I've learned now. So I always lose. So I don't like playing it. And we've been playing a lot of Battleship. So that took me back to where I don't even remember. So we've been playing Battleship. We've been playing this fishing game where you have to pick the fish out of the pond. It's a stick game. And I have my Drogo at home, my little husky. So he keeps us entertained all day long. Awesome. So yeah, it's a good life. It's a good life. Very grateful for whatever is still there and hoping to be able to make it through this happy and hopefully not damage the world.
Exactly.
Again.
Somebody's asked, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is white. I'm wearing white. I find it very pure, very bright, very refreshing, very happy. It's definitely my go-to color.
And who's more hands down at home, you or Pulkit? Does he help around the house or no?
He's extremely helpful. I don't even know how to convince someone with that, but very frankly, he's very, very, very helpful.
Okay. Nice.
He does everything on his own, but that is something because, both of us individually have lived alone and we run our homes and we still do. Yeah. So we're very used to running a house individually. Yeah. So I think it doesn't come down to, oh, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this. I think that happens when you actually start living together, but I don't see that happening here at all because whenever we do decide to live together, or whatever happens in the future, I know that he's not going to be one of those men who'll take it for granted that, oh, she's in the house, she'll handle it. Yeah. I don't need to help. But he's very helpful. He's a fantastic cook. Wow. And he's not lazy. I'm extremely lazy.
So who had made that painting of yours? You or him?
Pulkit.
Awesome. He's quite the talented boy, yeah?
He's very, very talented. He paints really well. He sketches really well. So he said, okay, let me try something. We didn't have our colors with us. So he said, I'll just sketch it on the iPad. So I was like, okay.
Wow.
Very frankly, nice. I didn't even know. He just asked me, paints pade hain? I said, no, I don't think we have paints. So he said, okay. And the next thing he came and showed this to me and he's like, it's like, okay, all right, this is what you wanted to do. Wow. And I was very, very, very flattered. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody would be a lucky girl. And be happy. You're really giving us the good vibes that we need in these times. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pooja. Thanks so much. It was so nice talking to you.
Same here. And I hope we meet in person very soon.
Very soon, 100%.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I love your page. I genuinely enjoy your page.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
No, really. I've grown up watching Good Times and I love it.
Wow, thank you so much.
It's so lovely. Really, yeah.
Thank you so much. So that's why we wanted you on Good Times. We need those good vibes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you have a safe and happy quarantine.
You too. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.